After the third off day of the season, the Gatemen are back in action here at Stony Brook Field to battle the Whitecaps. Alongside Cory Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. Cory, it hasn't been the best of times for Wareham over the past 3 games. Definitely not the hottest, of streaks. Second 3-game losing streak of the season. How do they snap out of it? It does feel a little bit different than the first time, though.
It definitely does, the second 3-game losing streak of the summer, but what makes this one different is that this time the bats are going, unlike the first one, but now the pitching's struggling. The pitching really carried the Gatemen through that early stretch in the season, but the past 2 games it hasn't been there. The Gatemen offense, they scored 7 against YD, 5 against Orleans the other night, but then they've kind of gotten stagnant late in the game as the pitching has let the other team get back in this game. So obviously Daniel Powell, the Gatemen starter, you want him to establish the zone early, bear down, get a good quality start in the offense. You'd love to see it go through all 9 innings to get on the winning side today.
You mentioned that, Cory, 12 runs put up by Wareham over its past 2 games, but 20 runs allowed. The good news for the Gatemen, there's reinforcements coming on both sides.
Yeah, Ty Stark from Louisville, the pitcher, Andrew Kane, infielder from Arizona. This feels like the perfect spot to get new additions to bolster the team. We talked about Levi Clark, how big he's been. He kind of came in the midst of a winning streak. Well, now you have 2 guys. You've lost 3 straight games. Reinforcements, as you said, on both sides, and again, couldn't come at a better time.
For more on some of those reinforcements, we send it down to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet.
Rayna Maggelet joins alongside Wareham Gatemen newcomer Andrew Kane. So Andrew, today is your Cape League debut. How are you feeling going into tonight's matchup?
I'm just feeling good, trying to have some fun, meet some of the guys, and play well, so hopefully it'll go good.
So your school, the University of Arizona, went to Omaha for the first time since 2021. What was that experience like for you?
It was fun. It was just a goal we wanted to get to as a team, and being able to accomplish that, it was a dream come true for sure for myself and everybody else there, so it was a lot of fun.
Last question, what from Tucson are you going to bring with you here to the Cape?
Hopefully not the heat, but hopefully a good bat and play hard.
Great. Well, good luck tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rayna. Now, while we keep playing on the playground here, we'll get ready for first pitch from Stony Brook Field at 5 o'clock. Pre-game festivities from Stony Brook Field are over. The right-hander Billy Barlow steps up onto the mound to get ready for his warm-up pitches, Cory, against the Gatemen offense that has been hitting the baseball well, and Billy Barlow trying to respond after a so-so start against Falmouth.
Yeah, just his second start of the summer for the Whitecaps. 3.60 ERA coming into this one after his first start of the summer. He went 5 innings through 61 pitches, just the 2 earned runs. So obviously, if he locates well, keeps the pitch count down, he can give you a quality start and go 5 innings. Won't put too much pressure on the Whitecaps bullpen.
We mentioned it in the open. Now coming in, a Gatemen offense that scored a good amount of runs over the last 2 games, 12 total. Braden Randall leads it off. Hayden Yost in the 2 spot. Levi Clark third. Ty Daly batting cleanup. And then 5, 6, 7, Vance Sheehan, Chris McHugh, Caius Gargett, and 8, 9, Chase Cruson and Hunter Carnes rounding out the order.
It's all about staying away from the middle part of this Gatemen order with runners on base. You'd want to limit the traffic in front of Levi Clark and Ty Daly, both hitting over 300 so far this summer. Daly's just kind of been the engine in the heart of this order, but that's easier said than done the way Braden Randall has come into his own at the top of this order. Now I even go down to Gargett in the 7th spot, the way he's hitting 350, leads this Gatemen team, can really extend the lineup 1 through 9, which, as you said, Josh, we've seen over the past couple games. It's not just a couple of guys hitting the ball well. It's really the entire lineup up and down that's really contributed to this offensive surge lately.
You mentioned Clark and Daly hitting over 300 in that 3-4 spot. Randall hitting over 300 leading off. Caius Gargett in the 7 hole. He's at 350 this year. So a couple of guys that are really producing well for this Gatemen team early on in this season. A couple others that are still trying to find their stride. A couple of those guys, Hayden Yost, Vance Sheehan, started off really well and now have started to slow down, but trying to pick it back up as well.
Yeah, they've had a couple of really good games or at-bats, but we're waiting to see that kind of consistently play out game to game. The average from Yost at 179, Shane at 160, or 187, excuse me. It's kind of deceiving because they've had some really good at-bats. They've both popped home runs, so it feels like they're hitting higher than the average actually shows. But again, once they get it going across a couple of games, it's really gonna climb the average.
Another guy with a home run already this year, Chris McHugh. He hit that against YD earlier this week. Braden Randall steps into the box. Lefty on righty to start it off. Billy Barlow, the right-hander, on the mound. Barlow, rising junior from Florida, deals his first pitch fastball, bottom of the zone for strike 1. Beautiful early evening, Friday, June 27th, 5:06 p.m., clear skies, just over 70 degrees. Beautiful night for baseball. 0-1. Pitch misses upstairs to Randall, count even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Barlow issued just 1 walk in his only outing of the summer. I would expect him to be around the zone most of the time. Only 1 strikeout, too, so a chance for the Gatemen to put the ball in play early. They've liked to be aggressive, especially since the offense has gotten going. They're going to try and swing early in counts. They're last in the Cape League in walks. So, again, this is a Gatemen squad. If they get a pitch in the zone, chances are they're going to be swinging away.
Brewster catcher Alex Sosa heads back to his dugout for a quick equipment change, malfunction going on. That was something that happened against the Gatemen for the Red Sox, I should say. It's just getting those pitch signals, getting the calls down the transmitter in the ear, making sure everything's squared away. That IFB tip can, get a little tricky sometimes. Now Sosa back in the box. Randall ready to square away. 1-1. Barlow kicks and deals. Fastball fouled off. Randall down 1-2. Defensive alignment for Brewster. Blake Sear in left, Josiah Ragsdale in center, Jacob McCombs in right. Infield, Carson Kirst, Manny Marin, Dalton Wentz, and Colin Priest. Read third to first. Alex Sosa behind the plate. And Barlow on the mound. 1-2 count to Randall. Fouled off again, just over the netting behind home plate.
This is one of the things that has solidified Randall at the top of this order. Even with 2 strikes, he's going to continue to battle, spoil pitches off, and he just shortens up with the approach, can put it anywhere, foul line to get on base.
1-2 again. Chopper over to first, but foul. Randall coming in on a 4-game winning streak. That was something that he said after the loss against Orleans. Was he's seeing the ball well. He's getting in deep counts. It's really good for a leadoff guy, especially now transitioning into that role. He's also seeing a lot more off-speed pitches, so he's had to adjust. But it helps a lot because he's seeing a lot more pitches, gives some guys behind him some chances. 1-2, fastball misses outside, count back to even.
And for your leadoff hitter to see a lot of pitches, get a sense of what this game's going to look like from the guys starting on the mound, obviously get that pitch count elevated, but gives the guys behind him a chance to see how the stuff is moving.
Barlow's pitch, lined over to first. Easy play on the ground for Priest, and he wins the race to the bag for the first out of the top half of the first. Randall retired after a 7-pitch at-bat, so Yost definitely has a chance to get a little bit more familiar with Barlow on the mound. Of course, they are both going to be pretty familiar. Both Florida Gators. First pitch, fastball outside corner, strike one.
And for Yost to be elevated in the lineup, second spot, you get back-to-back lefties leading things off for Ryan Smythe, a guy he's somewhat familiar with on the mound. I like the move to get him towards the top of the order, try and get on base.
0-1. Curveball, swing and a miss from Yost. Quickly down 0-2. You mentioned the familiarity between pitcher and hitter. How about the familiarity between each dugout, Cory? Ryan Smythe, Jamie Shevchik, both coaches at Keystone College, head coach and assistant coach. Some familiarity on that aspect as well. 0-2, breaking ball misses down, 1-2.
Yeah, you have several staff members across both of these squads who were together on the coaching staff at Keystone. You even had like a measuring height in the pregame. Two of these guys on both teams trying to see who was taller.
1-2 to Yost. Breaking pitch misses down, 2-2. You said it, Cory, a lot of connections on both sides. Something that Smythe said. They both know how each other are going to coach in this one. 2-2, lined over to first, but foul.
Yeah, I believe it was Nate Ewing and then one of the members of the Brewster coaching staff, again, engaged in a height contest, getting a picture, trying to see who was taller. It's a bit of a rivalry game, I guess you could say, but definitely some good vibes, good charisma, chemistry before the game between both of these squads as well.
Barlow's 2-2, swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking pitch, and Yost goes down on strikes.
Barlow's done a nice job across the first two hitters of locating that breaking ball down, not leaving it up, giving these guys a chance to turn on it. Starting it right around the knees, letting the movement do the work. Got Yost swinging a couple times in that count on breaking pitches. And a solid job to retire the first two lefties at the top of this Gatemen order.
Clark, the only obstacle from Barlow getting out of the first inning, 1-2-3. First pitch righty on righty is a breaking ball that finds the top half of the zone.
Let's go, Levi!
0-1 to Clark. Swung on and missed. Clark in left field today. 7th game of the season for the Gatemen. Comes in hitting .320. Couple of extra base hits. Has a home run as well. Good start to the season from the rising sophomore at Tennessee. 0-2. Fastball upstairs.
There were a couple of changeups down to start off Clark, and then the fastball up in the zone. Try and speed him up. We'll see which direction Barlow tries to go with here, having just thrown the fastball.
A shake and a nod. Barlow kicks in, deals. Fastball misses just below the knees. Count back to even 2-2.
Yeah, he's trying to change the eye level right now, going down, up, then back down. Credit to Levi Clark, going from 0-2, working it to 2-2 now. 2 early strikes in the count, but now you could see a pitch to hit.
Yost did the same thing before going down swinging. 2-2 here. Chopped and just got a piece of it. Did Clark. He stays alive.
It was another good curveball right there. Started it at the exact right spot. Credit to Clark to getting a piece of it, but if Barlow's going to be able to locate that consistently tonight, both to righties and lefties, it's got good vertical break and starting it at the knees. It's been a good pitch so far.
Barlow steps off, now back on. Had a 6.26 ERA this past season at Florida. 7 starts. 2-2. Fastball low. And a payoff coming up to Levi Clark.
Hasn't been able to locate that here. The past 3 times he's thrown it after getting Clark in the 0-2 count. Missed one up, then down, then that one down and in. So now that opens up Levi Clark potentially sitting dead red on anything in the zone.
Clark 2 walks so far this summer. Now sees a payoff. Pitch misses outside. And a long at-bat sends Clark over to first. 7 total pitches for the left fielder today. And a base on balls with 2 outs here in the first.
Only 1 base runner across the first 3 hitters, but credit the Gatemen. They've now seen 20 pitches without Barlow even getting out of the first inning. So even the outs haven't come easily for the right-hander. And again, anytime you set Ty Daly up with a runner on at base, a good situation being if you're Wareham.
Daly, an aggressive hitter, hitting .317 so far this summer. First pitch, takes it outside for ball 1. You mentioned the pitch count, Cory, already now at 21. Barlow went 5 innings in his first start of the season, first appearance for the Whitecaps. 1-0. This is low. So getting his count up that high this early in the game. You can keep up that trend. Won't be going that far into this one.
Especially since he threw 61 pitches in those 5 innings, so not particularly elevated given that he went pretty decent long ways in that game. You're almost halfway there.
Daly's on a 4-game hit streak, 8 of 16 in that span. Swings and misses, whiffed on the breaking pitch, and now ahead 2-1. Delivery, grounder over to second, played on by Wentz, and over to first for the out. Clark left on, Gatemen go down with Clark stranded on first to bring up the bottom half of the first. Whitecaps coming up to bat here on Cape League TV. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Gatemen left one stranded, scoreless heading into the bottom half of the first. It'll be the Whitecaps coming up to bat against Daniel Powell, who gave up 5 earned runs in his last start against Hyannis.
Yeah, pretty simple. When you're a ground ball pitcher in Daniel Powell, you have to keep the ball down in the zone to be able to work effectively against the opposition. Struggled to do that against Hyannis. His offense bailed him out. There were still some good at-bats in that game, but if he can locate down in the zone consistently, could have a really strong bounce-back performance tonight.
Powell just 3 1/3 against the Harbor Hawks. That was a 12-6 win for the Gatemen. First pitch to Josiah Ragsdale is grounded over to second and muffed by Braden Randall. The speed of Ragsdale reached the bag before Randall could even come up with the ball. And now on one pitch, the leadoff man on for Brewster.
And a tough way to start the bottom half of the first. Ragsdale hit it in a tough spot. Randall had a long way to range, like a lot closer to the first base bag, and had to slide just to stop the ball, but the exit velocity was not up there. So again, these sort of infield singles, tough for a pitcher to have to give up, especially when he executes well on the pitch.
Following Ragsdale, Dalton Wentz, the second baseman, check back over to first. Pablo Bustamante, the first base umpire, says that Ragsdale got back in safely. Blake Sear hitting third, Alex Sosa fourth, Colton Coates fifth, Carson Kirst sixth, and rounding out the order, Colin Priest, Jacob McCombs, and Manny Marine. Pitch misses inside to Dalton Wentz. Comes in at a .310 batting average, 2 for 4 with a double against Hyannis back on Wednesday. Defensively for the Gatemen, Clark, Yost, Cruson in the outfield, Van Shea and Braden Randall up the middle, Gargett and Daly on the corners, Hunter Carnes behind the plate. Check back over to first again. He's in safely.
Josh, when you look at this Whitecaps offense, there's 3 guys who are really carrying the load in terms of the average in hitting, and they're the first 3 hitters in this Whitecaps lineup.
Another check over. Certainly nervous about Ragsdale over on first.
Now, with 10 stolen bases so far this summer, I would be too. Again, Powell utilizing the unlimited pick-off attempts.
Pitch clock at 5. Misses outside, 2-0 to Dalton Wentz. Wentz, a switch hitter. A lot of balance in this Whitecaps order tonight. 4 lefties, 3 righties, and 2 switch hitters. Powell kicks and deals, fouled off. Just over the third baseline.
He's working in early on to Ragsdale and Wentz batting from the left side of the plate, trying to get in on the hands. Again, if he can bury a pitch down in the zone, maybe he could work a double play ball right here.
Check back over again. It gets away. Ragsdale over to second. Daly retreats it over by the wall. Ragsdale stops at second and draws some groans from the crowd, thinking he could have moved all the way over to third. But now a runner in scoring position with nobody out here for the Whitecaps.
You've got a decent amount of room down that first base line before you get to the fence and out of play right there. So a possibility, especially with Ragsdale's speed, to move up to third. But again, now here if you're the Gateman, got to bear down defensively. Tough play right there to already put a runner in scoring position with no one out.
Powell's 2-1. Swing and a miss. Fooled him with the breaking pitch, and it's 2-2. Yeah, Cory, seemed like a low throw there from Powell, but also at the same time, Daly didn't appear ready for it over at first. Just a miscommunication there.
It is a bit of a timing play, too. He's already gone over there a bunch so far this at-bat.
2-2. Fastball. Got him looking. Unproductive out for Daniel Powell. 2 more of those away from keeping this scoreless here in the first.
And those past 2 pitches located perfectly. He goes with the changeup, gets the swing, and then speeds him up with the fastball, both located in about the same spot, but obviously the difference in speeds made that strikeout happen.
Here's Blake Sear, the righty, in left field today. First pitch, misses upstairs. Shane and Randall back up the middle, doing their best to hold Ragsdale on second. Randall playing closer to the bag. Big lead for Ragsdale. Randall charges in, now deal to home. Ragsdale off to third, throw down from Carnes is not in time. make that 11 stolen bases on the season for Josiah Ragsdale, and the Whitecaps have a runner 90 feet away.
Ragsdale got a good jump. Carnes had the difficult time, obviously, throwing down with a righty in the box. Still made a very nice throw, just tough to navigate when you have a righty and Sear in the box.
Hitters count to Sear, 2-0, misses outside, 3-0. Four hitters in the Gatemen order hitting over 300. Four in the Whitecaps order doing the same thing. 3-0. In the air, over down the line at first. Daly ranging over near the line. And he makes the grab. Big out in foul territory for Ty Daly. Huge out there in the first.
Really huge out. He just had enough room starting up against the Gatemen dugout right there. And again, you go back to the fact that there are three of the four hitters, though, in this Whitecaps order who are hitting over 300 are the first three hitters in Ragsdale, Wentz, and Sear. So if he can navigate those hitters in Powell, it's going to get a little easier the rest of the way.
Looks like Brewster campaigning that ball went into unplayable territory, hit off the netting. It was Pablo Bustamante over at first. He made the call that Daly did make the catch. And Jamie Shevchik had a conversation with Ruben Ramirez. The umpires gather. It'd be tough to overturn, given just Bustamante had the best eye on it. He made the call, and he finishes it off with an out.
Yeah, you rarely see those judgment calls overturned, especially with no replay. If the ball hit the netting, it's obviously a dead ball. From this vantage point, didn't look like it hit any netting. And again, Daly had enough room right in front of the Gatemen dugout to make the catch.
Following Sear will be the lefty Sosa. Ragsdale remains on third. 2 outs here in the first, 0-0 game. Leadoff hit from Ragsdale. Muffed from Randall. Would have been a tough play either way for the second baseman. Moved over to third on the throwing error from Daniel Powell. First pitch. Misses upstairs with a fastball.
There have been a couple times this season where Gatemen pitchers have been able to escape jams, runners in scoring position. No one out, less than 2 outs. This would be another really big one. The fact that Powell could potentially get through the middle part of this order without any damage after having a runner on at second, no one out would be really big.
1-0, kicks and deals. Breaking ball, finds the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sosa, an NC State product, will be a rising junior in the fall, taking his talents elsewhere, recently just committed to the University of Miami. He'll be playing alongside Gateman middle infielder Vance Cheyenne. 1-1. Fastball misses down, 2-1. Powell sets, kicks, and deals. Breaking ball, got him. 2-2. Nice pitch from Powell to get back ahead in the count.
He left that probably a little higher in the zone than he would like to have that at that velocity, but the movement, a lot of it there. Sosa looked like to be sitting on a fastball. Got the breaking pitch again, plenty of movement, so credit to Powell. As you said, Josh, nice pitch.
Slowed him down with the breaking ball. Now with the 2-2, speeds him back up and misses inside.
Most of these at-bats, if he's gone with a breaking ball, he's then followed suit with a fastball and vice versa. With the full count to Sosa now with Coates on deck, we'll see what he decides to do. He's been locating some breaking pitches well down in the zone.
Payoff pitch. Lined into right field. Cruson back, and he makes the grab. Chase Cruson didn't have to move for it, and that retires the side in the first. Still scoreless heading into the second. Brewster leaves a man just 90 feet away.
Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com. Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the second year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Five, 6, 7 here for the Gatemen. Shayan, McHugh, Gargett, all righties for Billy Barlow, making his second inning of work.
A chance for the Gatemen to build off of the momentum that Daniel Powell got after pitching out of having a leadoff runner on at second, no one out, stranded him at third. Barlow's already thrown a lot of pitches up to 24. Shane, McHugh, Gargett, good amount of pop, and especially Gargett has been swinging a hot bat, so a chance for the Gatemen to grab an early lead.
Yeah, 24 compared to just 16 for Daniel Powell after the first. Sosa gets his mask on. Barlow kicks and deals. First pitch to Van Shayen is cut on and missed for strike one. Barlow misses low, count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shayen 1 for 5 with a strikeout against YD back on Tuesday. It was a 13-7 loss for the Gatemen, second of 3 straight. 1-1, misses inside. We mentioned it in the open, Cory, but just tough sailing for Wareham lately. 3 straight losses. Harwich, YD, Orleans. 2-1. This is outside. Now Shayen ahead 3-1. When you're up 5-0, you give up 7 straight runs to the Firebirds. That's a tough one to go out and then have to try and focus up back in here. 3-1. Breaking pitch finds the zone.
Yeah, when you're up 5-0 through 4 innings, not a lot of games you think you're not going to win. You almost get that feeling of invincibility, false sense of security. Give the Firebirds credit, they battled back in that one, though.
Payoff to Shayen, chopped and fouled. He stays alive.
And I think the approach should remain the same because grabbing an early lead in games is going to result in wins more times than not. But as we talked about in the open, the pitching has to bear down, but then you have to keep scoring. You can't just stop once you get a couple runs in bunches.
The loss dropped Wareham to 4-6 on the season. Brewster 7-3, 3-2, grounded over to third. Curse across the diamond in time. Brewster 7-3, second in the East, just a point behind YD. Wareham tied for third in the West. 5 points behind Hyannis, sitting 6-3-1. It's early in the season, Cory, but you have to think that, it is only 40 games. everything really starts to matter points-wise to try and sneak into a playoff spot. First pitch misses upstairs to McHugh.
Yeah, especially in those close games, you're going to need to start coming out on the right side of those. The Whitecaps have been one of the best teams across the Cape in winning a lot of those close games. Just about every game they've been in has been a 2-3 run contest.
1-0. Breaking ball fouled off. Yeah, Brewster started 6-0. Dropped a few in a row now. 1-3 in the last 4, 7-3 on the season.
And their first 5 wins were decided by 3 runs or less. So again, they're experienced in these close games.
A couple of those games ended early. No lights at Stony Brook Field. 1-1. Misses upstairs. Barlow working with the breaking ball, but he just can't locate it yet. Fires again, his 2-1. Fastball lined into left field. Deep at the wall, and it is gone. Chris McHugh, second hit of the year, second homer of the year, and Wareham up 1-0 early.
McHugh got a pitch to hit in the zone, just dropped the barrel on that one. We knew that once he got going, the power was really going to click. We saw the home run against YD, now one here tonight. The only question really about that one was whether it would stay fair down the left field line. Plenty of distance on that. Again, for the Gatemen to get out in front, big key for them to show that they can bounce back after 3 straight losses.
First pitch to Gargett, up the middle, right into the glove of Marin, and throws over to first for the out.
And I think, Josh, you mentioned a couple, those 7-inning wins for Brewster. I think that's one of the reasons why jumping out in front is important for the Gatemen. 2 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 squads were decided in 7 innings. Both favored Brewster, 11-0 win, 15-4 win. Both were here at the Whitecaps, but again, they have experience dealing with those games that are called early, but if you're going to deal with that, you have to get in front early because you may not have the last 2 innings of play.
First pitch to Cruson, fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Just 3:15 till the left and right field foul poles. 3:85 to dead center. 0-1, fastball outside.
And in those 7-inning games, 15-4, 11-0, they were obviously high scoring, so the games are going to take longer. That's why they were ended early. Again, if you're the Gatemen, you want to be...
Well, the mercy rule would have come into effect
exactly
at that point, too, but... 1-1. In the air to center. Ragsdale drifts back and makes the grab just shy of the wall to retire the side. Gatemen get one on the solo shot from Chris McHugh. Whitecaps attempt to answer in the home half of the second here on Cape League TV.
Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synklaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham. For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
1-0 Wareham heading into the home half of the second. A 353-foot blast from Chris McHugh has the Gatemen up 1-0 early.
You know, we talked about in the open some of these brand new additions in Andrew Kane and Ty Stark, but listen, obviously Chris McHugh, this is not his first game with the Gatemen, but still a newer face. Now his second home run in the past 2 games he's played. Don't want to forget about him, and obviously you're going to need these new guys to chip in right away when you're on a 3-game skid.
5, 6, 7 in the Brewster order. Attempting to answer, Powell's first pitch is a breaking ball that finds the top half of the zone for strike 1. Colin Coates leads it off, DHing today. 400 batting average early on this season. 0-1. Fastball got him at the knees, strike 2. Coates 2 for 5 with an RBI against Hyannis back on Wednesday. Powell's 0-2, lined into center and down. Coates battles back in the count and delivers a line drive into center for Brewster's second hit of the day.
Good 2-strike approach, choked up on the bat, shortened up the swing, got a fastball up in the zone, just turned on it. And second straight inning now for Powell with the leadoff runner on at first. Again, a little bit more easy sledding, though, against the bottom half of this Brewster lineup.
That'll bring up Carson Curse. A lot of CCs on this Brewster squad. He lays down a drag bunt over to third. Powell barehands it across the diamond in time. Athleticism from Daniel Powell retires Curse. Coates over to second. 1 out here in the second in a 1-0 game for Wareham.
Great play by Powell on a great bunt by Curse. On the grass closer to the third baseline, the ability by Powell, the confidence in the bare hand to make a good throw to Daly to get 1 out. Obviously the runner into scoring position now. But Powell's been here last inning, got out of the jam, and now already has 1 out here.
Colin Priest, the first baseman, with a runner in scoring position. Powell's first pitch. Fastball finds the zone. Priest has played 8 games for Brewster, hitting .120. 3 hits, one of them a double. Has 4 walks as well. Coates takes a step. Powell delivers home and a swinging strike for Priest. Whiffed on the breaking ball.
Couple of nice pitches. And again, mixing the location, went outside, then comes back in with a nice slider, buries it in on the hands. No chance for Priest to get extended, and Powell's in a good spot, 0-2 right now.
Powell ahead, looks at second, now heads home. 0-2, into right, drifting towards the foul pole. It stays in the yard. Cruson fields it. Coates heads for home. He's in without a throw, and beating the throw into second is Colin Priest. He ties it up with an RBI double.
It looked like a fairly similar pitch to that swinging strike 2, just stayed up in the zone a little bit more. Priest was able to get his hands in, really turn on that ball, really got under it too. Maybe didn't square it up all the way, but again, good piece of contact. And just like that, this game's tied.
Both hits for Brewster now coming in this inning with 2 strikes. Coates had the single, Priest now with the double. That was something that plagued the Gatemen back on Wednesday in the loss to Orleans, was 2-strike pitching. McComb swings and misses on a fastball. Jordan Stevens came in relief, gave up 4 runs, all of them earned. Gave up a handful of hits, went ahead in the count with 2 strikes. McComb's hitless this year, 0-1, misses downstairs.
Yeah, if you have 2 strikes, especially if there's no balls on hitters, I think, obviously, executionally-wise, you don't want to just completely throw a non-competitive pitch, but you don't want to hang anything in the zone, especially when you're a strike away from getting an out. Make someone chase just out of the zone.
Powell looks at Priest, now heads home, 1-1, fastball. Right at the hip, 1-2.
That pitch clock's been winding down, gotten close to zero the past two offerings, but Powell probably knows where he's at. He's timed it out before, and he's gotten close to a few violations now.
1-2, fouled off down the third base line.
And now with 2 strikes, this is a situation where obviously you're going to try and throw something a little outside of the zone. You have a couple pitches to work with. Maybe try and bury a slider down and in. Don't want to bounce anything necessarily. You want Carnes to be able to block it at the very least, but stay away from the zone.
Pitch clock at 6, lined up the middle. Played on by Randall. Jump throw to first is in time. Derek Jeter-esque from Braden Randall for the second out in this second inning. Moving over to third will be Priest. And the go-ahead run still now just 90 feet away from Brewster.
You said it, Josh. Derek Jeter-esque. The challenge when you make that throw and decide to jump is how accurate can you make that throw and how much velocity can you get on it. Right there, Randall just got enough velocity to get McCombs. It was a strike to Ty Daly. A great play ranging up the middle.
Manny Marin at the plate takes a breaking ball down low. These two guys at the bottom of the Brewster order, Cory, 0 for 22 combined this season. McCombs 0 for 8, Marin 0 for 14. Only 5 strikeouts, so certainly putting it in play. 1-0, swing and a miss.
And this is where if you're Powell, obviously anyone can break out of a slump at any time. Not going to last forever, but he has a little bit more wiggle room with where he locates. Doesn't have to be as precise as he did compared to the top of this Whitecaps order.
Pitch clock down to 3. Powell deals in the air and fouled off. Nearly reaching the elementary school, 1-2.
And that's why you've seen just 2 straight fastballs in the zone. Chance for Marin to do something with them, but now with 2 strikes, he's seen a couple of fastballs. I think try and go with a breaking ball here to make him swing and miss.
He was 0 for 5 with 2 Ks on Wednesday. Pitch skips in the dirt. Nice block from Hunter Carnes. Count back to even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carnes will lead off the third, followed by Randall and Yost, 9-1-2 in the Gatemen order. Marin, the 9-hitter for the Whitecaps. Ragsdale on deck, 2-2. This is downstairs.
He's gone down the past 2 pitches, not really tempting for Marin to swing at, with the fastball that just kind of stayed down. I'd probably attack him here better than having to face Ragsdale with runners on the corners.
3-2, chopper over to short. Sheehan on the backhand and makes the throw over to Daly to retire the side. Brewster ties it up in the second. Heading into the third, it's knotted at 1 here on Cape League TV.
The peanut gallery's gone.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
Okay.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency. Tossed down to second, and now ready to start the third. Hunter Carnes leads it off for the Gatemen, 9-1-2 in the Wareham order. Carnes, Randall, Yost. Brewster ties it up in the home half. An RBI double off the bat of Colin Priest. Scored Colton Coates. 3 hits for the Whitecaps already, just the one, a solo shot from Chris McHugh for Wareham. First pitch will hit Carnes on the inside hip. And now he moves over to first base.
No doubt about that one. Got a good piece of him. Just a pitch that ran way too far inside. Gatemen will take that, though, I think, especially if they want to jump ahead early. Obviously, the shot by McHugh, a big one, but just a solo shot, not going to win a ton of games. So if you can start to get some base runners on and then drive them in from there, would be big to establish an early lead.
First pitch to Randall, tries to score up a bunt. It's in the air over into foul territory, and Sosa can't get there. Randall's led off a few times this season, and even in that spot, something that Ryan Smythe likes to say, well, he's a multi-dimensional guy. He can hit it, he can pull it sometimes, he can slap it the other way, he can lay down a few bunts. Anything we need him to do, he does. See if he tries it again. Hurst playing in. Just a step behind the grass. 0-1 fouled off. Full swing from Randall there. Nonetheless, behind 0-2.
Yeah, bunts have not really been a strong suit for the Gatemen early on. They have just one sacrifice bunt on the summer. That was Mac Rose against Orleans the other day. But again, the ability to get it down, advance a runner with Randall's speed can maybe beat one out if he places it well, too. And I like what they've done. Sometimes they bunt on the first pitch, sometimes on the second, but now you're going to be swinging away, obviously.
0-2. Skips in the dirt. 1-2. You mentioned that sac bunt from Mac Rose, Cory. That was back in the 4th inning against Orleans. A spot where the Gatemen scored 3 runs, the final 3 of the game for Wareham. Rose ended up being safe on a throwing error from Braden Krenzel for giving up 7 total in the 5th and 6th. Check over to first. Carnes back safely.
They've done effectively. They can be a really great way of getting runs in and advancing runners, especially since some pitchers are going to have some difficulties with that internal clock being sped up, especially if it's placed down the third base line, a long throw to first. But just have only seen the one this summer.
Sosa sets up high. Delivery to Randall, misses upstairs. I mentioned Daly on a 4-game hit streak. So is Randall. So is Caius Gargett. 3 Gatemen hitters. Randall 7 of 16 during the stretch. Daly 8 of. Gargett 6 of. 2-2. Breaking ball fouled off. Randall stays alive. Sends that one over the netting behind home plate.
As we talked about, that's one of the silver linings of this losing streak is that you have guys who are continuing to swing the bat. It's not a situation where you've just gone cold and are losing games that way. These are competitive games. Players are playing well, just haven't gotten the win.
Carnes over to first. He's in safely. 3-2 loss to to Harwich on a walk-off. 13-7 to YD. 7-5 to Orleans, and now here tied 1-1 against Brewster. Randall's 2-2, misses outside.
And this is the value that Randall has, as we talked about in his first at-bat of the game. The ability to go from 0-2 now to 3-2 and force Barlow to throw one more likely than not in the zone already with a runner on, or risk putting Randall, his speed, on first with 2 guys on.
Already at 46 pitches through 2+. Payoff is lined into center. That's Ragsdale. He makes the grab, drifting into the shallow infield for the first out.
Might have been ball 4, kind of top of the zone, but obviously too close to take. Randall with that great 2-strike approach. Got good contact on it. Just playable for Ragsdale out in center field. Another quality at bat. Credit by Barlow. He's won more of them than not. But again, another 7 pitches that the Gatemen have seen out of the righty's hand.
Already at 47 now, thrown 27 strikes. Yost steps back in for his second at-bat. He'll have to wait for the first pitch. Another check over at Carnes at first.
As we talked about, that's sort of the MO with Barlow. There's not going to be a lot of walks. He's going to be around the zone a majority of this game, so you're going to get pitches to hit. You just have to take advantage, especially with runners on base.
Yost struck out on a breaking ball back in the first. Now here in the third, waits again. Check back over at Carnes. He's in safely. This is a catcher that they're throwing over at that often, Cory.
Carnes has a decent amount of speed. With his lead, don't think he'd necessarily go anywhere unless on a hit and run, maybe.
Maybe a step and a half out from first base, and now Barlow steps off the mound to check back over. Yost ready to dig in. First pitch to the center fielder. Fooled on the breaking pitch. Tried to check his swing. Went around.
Yeah, Carnes swiped just 2 bags for the Seminoles at FSU this past spring in 40 games. So obviously in terms of catchers, maybe a little bit more speed than the average. But again, unlikely that he would just have a straight steal of second right now.
0-1. Misses in the dirt. Yost started off the season struggling, 2 for 19. Since then, 3 for 9. Has a couple hits, a home run, a double. Fastball misses upstairs. Yost hit leadoff on opening day against Hyannis. Since then, his highest total. Ball gets away from Sosa. And now Carnes shows off the wheels, advancing to second on the pass ball.
Pitch down in the zone. Looked like it maybe crossed Sosa up a little bit. Had to reach back across. Couldn't get all of it. Hitters count now for Yost with the runner in scoring position.
First base open for Barlow, already now at 50 pitches. 3-1, swung on and missed.
That's a great pitch right there. Looked like it changed up, the confidence to be able to throw that 3-1. In danger of putting Yost on for the middle part of this order. Looks like a fastball out of the hand all the way. Located perfectly. Now another big pitch coming.
Carnes in scoring position, Yost at the dish. 3-2, 1 out, 1-1 game here in the third. Barlow, pitch clock, no call. Chopper over in fair territory, down the line. It's a fair ball, and Yost thrown out. Over to third is Carnes. He's in safely. Ryan Smythe is adamant now out of the dugout to have a chat with the home plate umpire, Ruben Ramirez, that pitch clock was well past 0.
He was out of the dugout before that play was even made, and I think the point's a good one in the sense that you have 3 umpires. If the pitch clock gets to 0, I mean, it was 0 and 1 and 2. I think it's fairly easy when you got 3 guys, probably a call that you're really looking for one of them to be able to make. And I think that probably distracted Yost a little bit. You had everyone calling for the pitch clock violation, maybe Barlow as well.
Well, it's all in, you know, it's all fair. You know, I mean, he was.
Said it twice already. Okay, I heard it. Twice in this inning. Okay. And look at the clock.
Smythe adamant. I don't know if we've seen him ever get that fired up.
Listen, when you're on a 3-game skid, you want all the breaks your team can take.
And you need to fire up your guys, too.
When you show them you care about winning, that's going to be infectious, and it's going to pass along the entire dugout. And, yeah, as you were saying, Josh, listen, the noise before that pitch came, it's going to serve as a distraction to both Barlow and Yost, but obviously not something the guys are accustomed to. The amount of noise coming from everyone saying that the clock hit 0, I think is something obviously different. Typically, you're going to get a lot of silence right before the pitch is thrown, and then the reaction from the crowd comes after that. I think that's part of the reason why we have a mound visit right now for Brewster, to kind of reset after an unorthodox sequence of events.
Brian Del Rosso, the pitching coach, heading out to talk to Billy Barlow, now returns back to his home dugout. 2 outs here in the third. Runner on third for the Gatemen. Levi Clark at the dish. He walked back in the first. Barlow's first pitch, kicks and deals. Fastball, outside corner, strike 1.
And listen, it changes the workings of this inning. It would be first and second, 1 away. Now runner on in third, 2 outs. Still opportunity for Clark for a 2-out RBI, but it changes the complexion of the inning. Not having that pitch clock violation would have been ball 4.
0-1. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Carnes at third. Clark in an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1. Misses upstairs. Sosa pump fakes over to third, and Carnes dives in safely. Two-one to Clark. Over to second. Stopping on a dime is Wentz. And to first for the out. Side retired and a man left 90 feet away for the Gatemen. And while these two teams switch sides, we'll toss this down to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet, trying something new here at Stony Brook Field.
Hey guys, it's Rayna, Maggelet, and Joe McLaughlin. So today we are trying the Brewster Whitecaps' very own closer that they have here at their Stony Brook Field. We're gonna give it a try. It looks really promising. So
incredible.
Do you mind holding this for me?
Sure.
Thank
I can hold.
you.
Right. For those wondering, it's 2 or actually 1 glazed donut that was grilled, vanilla ice cream and sprinkles. It's insane looking, but it looks amazing. Thoughts?
Really good.
Okay.
It's thick, hard to eat. It's gonna take a few bites, but I give this a 10 out of 10.
Okay, high praise.
Really
high
good.
Praise.
Highly recommend this, you guys.
All right.
All right, Joe.
Switching the rolls real quick.
It's kind of messy though, I will say.
Oh wow, that is a lot.
It's refreshing for sure.
Very good, especially on a hot day. I'm gonna give that solid like 8.9 out of 10. Very good. Highly recommend. Come down to Brewster and try it out.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen Field. Go Gatemen. A scoreless top of the third here at Stony Brook Field sends Brewster back up to bat. 1-2-3. Ragsdale wins Sear here in a 1-1 game.
Daniel Powell did a nice job navigating through the top half of this order back in the first. The leadoff hit by Ragsdale, an infield hit. Then got Wentz, Sear, and Sosa. Retired each of them to escape the jam. Obviously now second time through the order. Things will get a little bit more difficult. But if Powell can locate down in the zone, I think he's going to be able to navigate through them without any damage.
Powell's first start of the season on opening day against Hyannis was good through 2 times through, and then it was that third time that started to have some struggles, taken out after just 3 innings. Hyannis ended up winning that one 7-2. First pitch misses upstairs. Second is a fastball just below the knees. And now Ragsdale ahead 2-0. Fastball inside. And now the center fielder up 3 balls, no strikes. Already came into today hitting .370 on the season with a .500 on base. That's up to .393. And over every other. 3-0. Fastball taken all the way for strike 1.
Not someone you want to fall behind in the count. Taking all the way there on 3-0. If anything's closer, might see a green light.
Powell deals. Fastball again, just at the knees. 2 straight strikes. Has Powell ready to deal a payoff. Working quickly out of the windup. 10 on the clock. Pitch misses inside. Bat never leaves Ragsdale's shoulder, and he's on first with a base on balls. Wentz up to follow. Ragsdale advanced into scoring position back in the first after his single. Throwing error from Powell, trying to check back over on him. Made it in safely to second, then stole third. Wentz went down looking. Steer fouled out to first, and Sosa out into right. First pitch to the second baseman, lined into left field and caught. Sliding grab from Levi Clark for the first out here in the third. Athleticism from the everyday catcher.
Clark got a good jump on it, saw it coming in. Looked like it might be falling fast. Didn't have to come in all that much. Was hard hit, stayed up for him. You said it, quality athleticism, nice play. This is the 3rd straight inning Powell's had a leadoff man on at first. Was again trying to locate, let his defense come up big for him.
Righty on righty matchup with Sear. But first a check over, and Ragsdale in safely. Sear known as the Energizer Bunny of this Brewster team. Against Hyannis on Wednesday, 3 for 4, had 2 doubles and scored 3 runs. And another check back over to first, and Ragsdale is out. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, Daniel Powell gets Ragsdale out at first on the pickoff.
Didn't shorten up any of that lead, part of what made that pickoff possible. You knew that Powell wasn't going to hesitate to throw over there. Ragsdale, same length in that lead each of the past few times he's been on base.
1-0 to Sear is upstairs, ball 2.
We saw it against Hyannis, too. Powell's got a good pickoff move, and he's not afraid to use it however many times he wants.
Deal, swing and a miss from Sear. Fastball blew it by him. You mentioned the unlimited pickoffs. It's crucial in a spot like this. Of course, there is the pitch clock at 20 seconds. As he deals his 2-1, skips in the dirt 3-1. But getting those unlimited pickoff moves to any bags, no limit on disengagements. The cat and mouse game still alive and well here in the Cape League. 3-1. Lined over to short. Sheehan tries to pick it off a hop. He can't, and it drifts into the outfield for Levi Clark.
It's a really tough play for Sheehan to have to make. It's hit pretty much right at him, but he has to decide in a split second positionally how he wants to play that, and then you never know how that short hop's going to carry him off of the ground, how high or low it's going to go. And the reaction time is really low. Sometimes you just try and get in front of it, but a tough play and a hard hit. Ball by Sear.
He got a little bit of his glove on it, but just went over and drifted into left for Clark, who threw it in. 2-out single from Sear brings up Alex Sosa. Flew out to right to end the first. Powell's first pitch in the air to left. Clark drifts back. He's at the warning track. He's at the wall, and he makes the grab. Runner left on base for Brewster. Still 1-1 here heading into the fourth on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Brewster leaves a runner on for the third straight inning. We enter the fourth, tied up at 1. Whitecaps 4 hits, Wareham just the 1. A solo shot off the bat of Chris McHugh. He'll get his second AB here in the fourth. Third to hit behind Ty Daly and Van Sheehan.
Would love some traffic on the base pass in front of McHugh. 2 home runs in the past 2 games he has played, swinging now a pretty hot bat. Daly is as well, average up at 317 entering play. And you know with Barlow on the mound, you're probably going to get some pitches around and in the strike zone to hit early in counts.
Daly ended the first inning with a ground out over to second. Left Levi Clark on base. Now leading off the fourth. Barlow out of the windup. Delivers his first pitch. Fastball in the air into left. Sear drifts back, takes some steps at the track, and he makes the grab. Sear had it, lost it, and grabbed it again for the first out here in the fourth.
Yeah, sun not directly in his eyes, more so setting towards the right fielder in his eyes and McCombs, but still affecting Sear a little bit right there. Nice job to stick with it and make the catch.
Sheehan's second AB starts with a fastball upstairs and just clips the top corner of the zone for strike one. Cheyenne had that first home run of the season for the Gatemen. Came against YD, solo shot into left, chops and fouls that to the backstop, and now quickly behind 0-2. That one against the Red Sox, Cory, it got out in a hurry, and since then, still trying to find his groove swinging the bat. Barlow's 0-2, doesn't offer at it, pitch in the dirt.
And he's had some really nice at-bats. He's hitting the ball pretty well. Again, once it starts to fall in place consistently, I think you're going to see that slash line really reflect the at-bats he's put together.
167 average so far this summer, chops that one foul and stays alive. Bounced off of his chest and in front of home plate. Sosa delivers the throw back up to Barlow on the mound.
And there's a reason he's still hitting in the heart of this order, is because you know he has the pop, the plate discipline's there. He's fouling off close pitches in the zone. Just a matter of time, you got to feel like.
1-2 count, 1 out. Nobody on here in the fourth. Delivery to Cheyenne. Fastball misses upstairs, 2-2.
And even though the Gatemen have just one run, just one hit, the quality of at-bats have been there, working a lot of deep counts, protecting with 2 strikes. At the very least, getting Barlow's pitch count elevated.
Delivery home. Breaking ball, fouled up and out of play, just over home plate. That's the 64th pitch for Barlow, Cory. Already eclipsed his total in his first start this season against Falmouth.
Yeah, I was about to say, now here in the top of the fourth through 3 1/3. So we'll see if he can get through this. Does Brewster have the comfortability with him to send him out there for another inning?
2-2. Misses upstairs. Payoff coming up to Cheyenne. He went 5 innings when he delivered those 61 pitches against the Commodores. Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, just 2 earned, and struck out 3. So far today, 1 earned run, 1 K. A chance for his second payoff pitch. Got him looking. Breaking ball up in the zone. Cheyenne thought it was ball 4. Turns out it's strike 3 for the second out here in the fourth.
Yeah, 2 straight breaking balls, both kind of top of the zone, but the one before that for ball 3 just sort of stayed elevated, didn't spin down. That time located a little bit better, ultimately dropped down in the zone.
First pitch to McHugh, fouls it off and out of play. No surprise to see him as aggressive as he is. 353-foot home run, 107-mile exit velocity back in the second. Gateman's only run of the game so far. 0-1, fastball upstairs.
He's got some really quick hands and can just drop the barrel on the baseball really quickly, which we saw for that home run back in the second.
1-1, takes a fastball outside, 2-1.
And I think the at-bats have gotten better and better with each game he's played for the Gatemen, laying off some close pitches, but are balls nonetheless, waiting for something to come to him that he can swing at.
2-1, breaking ball misses downstairs. 3 balls and a strike to McHugh. Played in and started 56 games this past year at NC State. Hit .365, 12 doubles, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, and just 40 strikeouts for the right-hander. 3-1. Swung on and fouled off. That one hit Sosa, and he takes a minute to recover right off of his wrist.
That's a tough break, especially if you got a good chunk of the bone for Sosa. Just kind of that redirect, you're set up for where you're expecting the pitch to come. Then off of the bat of McHugh, the trajectory just entirely changes up.
Sosa has the glove off of his left hand, trying to stretch it out, feel it out with the Brewster trainers. McHugh fouled it, got a piece of it. Just an awkward placing and a quick tap on the behind from McHugh, applauding Sosa, as does the crowd, for his resilience to stay in this game. Pounds his mitt 3 times. Now squats back down behind home plate. 3-2 count for McHugh. 2 outs here in the 4th. 1-1 game. Barlow delivers his payoff. Lined over into right field, drifting foul. Slicing out of play.
Fastball up in the zone. And it's really impressive just how much McHugh's able to wait on some of these pitches before he starts his swing. But again, given how quick his hands are, really has that luxury to his advantage.
3-2. Into right field and down. McHugh laid on the fastball and flared it over into right. And a 2-out single here for Wareham in the 4th.
Yeah, fastball looked like outer part of the plate. And once again, those hands from McHugh, it sort of like follows the rest of his swing. He's able to see the ball really well and gets those hands going, just not trying to do too much. Hit it where it was pitched. Beautifully done to get the Gatemen a 2-out base runner.
Gargett steps up with a man on base. Barlow out of the stretch, deals a breaking ball that Gargett chops at and fouls off. Gargett entered today hitting .350. Has not drawn a walk yet this season. He grounded out to short for the 2nd out 2 innings ago. Now has a runner on first and 2 outs. A 1. Breaking pitch misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the 3rd baseman entering today on a 4-game hit streak. 6 of 16 in that span. Had 3 of those hits in the 12-6 win against Hyannis. Breaking pitch finds the outside corner, strike 2.
This is where, if you're the Gateman, you'd love to exploit this mismatch. All 4 of the Whitecaps hitters above 300, top 5 in the order. But you have a guy in Gargett at 350 entering play, hitting 7th with a runner on at first right now.
1 for 4 with a strikeout against Orleans yesterday. Down 1-2, runner goes, swings and misses. Gargett goes down on strikes, leaves McHugh on to end the top half of the 4th. Brewster coming up to bat to try and untie this one at 1.
Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com. Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
We're through 3.5 innings here at Stony Brook Field. 6 runners left on base between the 2 squads. That's why it's knotted here at 1, entering the home half of the 4th. Coates, Curse, and Priest step up to bat for the Whitecaps here in the fourth.
Leadoff runner's been on base each of the first 3 innings for Brewster. Have only gotten 1 run, though.
First pitch to Coates. Fouls that one off down the first baseline. Led off the second with a single up the middle. Curse then sack bunted him over. And Colin Priest hit a fly ball RBI double to the warning track for the Whitecaps' only run of the day. 0-1 from Powell. Fastball misses outside. One misses downstairs. Powell behind in the count, 2 balls and a strike. That's his 50th pitch of the day. This is the spot, Cory, where Powell has started to fall off this year. Went 3 innings opening day, 3 1/3 against Hyannis, his second start of the season. As Coates fouls that one off 2-2.
Yeah, and we'll see if early on he'll sort of miss his location, fall behind hitters, and then have to come back with the fastball in a fastball count. I think that's where things could get dangerous for him.
2-2, fastball misses upstairs. And a payoff coming up to the leadoff batter, Coates, the rising junior at Louisiana Tech.
I think his ability with runners on base today to throw secondary stuff and locate it well has gotten him out of some jams.
3-2, fastball over to short. It's Cheyenne. Across the diamond, Daly catches for the first out. First inning so far today, where the Whitecaps' leadoff batter won't reach safely. Good sign for Powell now entering and tying his season long for a start.
Yeah, solid pitch. Another fastball. We saw a couple of those to end the at-bat, but again, not ideal to finish an at-bat with back-to-back fastballs.
Curse takes a fastball straight down the middle.
He can locate it well, that's great. I think he'd love to play off it a little bit more with some of his breaking pitches and getting better pitcher's counts so then he can mix and match, throw some pitches to get hitters to chase.
0-1. Lined over to Shane. He's got another chance. Takes it off 2 hops and over to Daly for 2 outs. 6-3, 6-3 to start the bottom half of the fourth to bring up Colin Priest. Help score the only Whitecaps run of the game.
Couple of fastballs down in the zone right there. Hitters out in front of it, especially Curse right there. Powell in a much better spot with no one on base right now, facing Priest for the second time.
First pitch in the air into shallow center field. Yost under it, and he makes the grab. Season high 4 innings for Daniel Powell, 56 pitches for the right-hander, and this one remains knotted at 1 heading into the 5th here on Cape League TV.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Top of the 5th in a tie game knotted at 1. Billy Barlow's day is done after 4 innings, allowed just 2 hits and a run, walked 1 and struck out 3. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Gatemen order to face a new right-hander on the mound.
Nate Britton 6'4", 200-pound right-hander out of Wake Forest. His third game of the summer, all out of the bullpen, inning in 2/3, 2 runs. So the ERA elevated to 10.80. Does have a hold, so he has experience in some of these close games this summer. If you're the Gatemen, obviously you've gotten just a 1 run. Chris McHugh's accounted for your only 2 hits, but you worked enough really quality high-pitch at-bats to get into this Brewster bullpen fairly early. And obviously a new arm right now.
Barlow went 16 pitches over what was his previous season high. 77 compared to 61. Pitched an inning less than he did against the Commodores earlier this season. And now gives way to Britton.
And you'll take that if you're Brewster. Obviously didn't match his previous season high with 5 innings pitched, but he gave you 4 innings of 1-run ball. The game is tied when he exits, especially with a lineup like the Gatemens that scored 12 runs its past 2 games to limit them to 1 through 4 innings. Solid work. Obviously the pitch count elevated, but you'll take that as opposed to 5-6 runs coming in.
Barlow only allowed 2 hits. One of them just happened to be a solo shot off the bat of Chris McHugh. Chase Cruson starts off the 5th. Digs into the left-handed batter's box, has the platoon advantage. Britton's first pitch is a fastball that misses outside. Cruson flew out to center to end the 2nd. The at-bat here in the 5th lines one into deep right field. McCombs drifting back at the wall. He makes the grab. Maybe a step or so in from the advertisements along that right center wall. And Cruson with 2 flyouts here in this one.
Especially right there, got good wood on the ball. Turned on one in the zone. A good sign facing a new arm. Just a couple pitches in the at-bat to get good contact like that.
Hunter Carnes was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd to lead it off. Left stranded on 3rd to end the inning and takes a first pitch fastball at 96 for strike 1.
That fastball from Britton looks like, especially early in counts, might try and get that to play if he can locate it well. The velocity's certainly been there. We saw it first pitch to Cruson, now again first pitch to Carnes.
0-1. Fastball misses outside. Carnes awaiting his first hit of the campaign so far. Went 0 for 3 in his debut against the Red Sox. Walked and struck out. Hit by a pitch today, 1-1. Fastball misses outside.
Couple of pitches right at the knees, few that have just missed low and outside a little bit. Again, been right around the strike zone, but right now Hunter Carnes not trying to swing out of his shoes. Has worked himself into a hitter's count.
Britton's 2-1 is a fastball that finds the zone. Count even 2-2.
So Britton's not going to be afraid to throw that fastball in hitters' counts. We've seen him go east and west with it, outer part of the plate, inner part of the plate. We'll see if he wants to mix things up. I've only seen a breaking ball or 2 since he entered this game.
Two to Carnes. Chopped over to 3rd. Roll over. Tough play for Curse. Bare hand and not in time. Curse gave it a good charge, but Carnes' speed down the first baseline has him reaching safely with an infield single here in the 5th.
Tough play for Curse. He's not going to be really in guarding against a bunt, especially with Carnes 9th in the order, so he's playing back about even with the bag and just not even close to enough velocity on that ball for him to be able to make the throw in time. Nice barehanded pickup, did so cleanly, but it kind of checked up too, didn't keep rolling, so he had to come a long way. Again, Carnes, good enough speed from that catcher spot to get on base.
Big spot for Braden Randall. Led off the game, check back over to first, it gets away. Carnes speeds over to second base, now he turns for 3rd, digging in, ball still stuck under that wall, and he is safe at third. One out here in the fifth. Difficulty fielding from Dalton Wentz and Colin Priest. The infielders converged near that wall over and right. And now Carnes in safely, just 90 feet away, representing the go-ahead run.
Yeah, somewhat tough from our vantage point, Josh, to the right of home plate to see kind of how that ball ended up in the corner there. But good awareness from Carnes. Didn't pick his head up going first to third all the way. Now with a guy like Randall who can put the ball in play, leads this team in RBIs. Right man, right spot for the Gatemen.
Infield moves in for Brewster. First pitch to Randall is a fastball at 95 down the middle for strike one.
Carnes almost slipped and fell rounding second. The equipment came off, but hey, give him credit. He showcased the speed a couple times here today.
Well, a similar play to what Ragsdale had happened to him back in the first. Daniel Powell threw an errant throw over to first on the check. Got away. He stopped at second. Carnes headed over to third. 0-1. Skips in the dirt. It's away. Sosa delivers. Backhanded throw over to home. It's not in time. Wild pitch scores Hunter Carnes for Wareham's second run. 2-1 lead for the Gatemen here in the fifth.
Get Hunter Carnes some water, right? I mean, he legs out the infield single.
Be tired.
He gets to third just a pitch or so later on the air on the mound by Britton. And just after that, 2 pitches in the Randall at bat, he has to come home on the wild pitch. That's how you make things happen, just with one swing of the bat. Doing it himself to give the Gatemen the lead.
Infield back to normal depth for Randall. 1-1 count, 1 out, 2-1 lead for the Gatemen. Grounds one over to second. It's Wentz. Short throw over to Priest at first for the second out.
Some solid contact from Randall there. You could hear it squirted up off of the bat, just hitting it on the ground, but a good sign. Obviously, Carnes had that infield base hit, but looked like both the lefties, Cruson and then Randall, seen that pitch pretty well out of Britton's hand. Got some good wood on it.
Each team now with an error. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Gatemen. 1 run on 4 hits for the Whitecaps. First pitch to Hayden Yost is chopped foul off of his right foot. How much do you think that hurts, Cory? You foul one off of your foot?
I think
even if it bounces
some
before.
Pitches, it can be pretty excruciating. And we've seen guys, big leagues, minor leagues, that can fracture a foot, I think, sometimes.
A 1 to Yost is chopped over to second again. Making a nice play, ranging to his right is Wentz, and that retires the side. Gatemen back on the board, 2-1 lead for Wareham heading into the home half of the fifth, right here on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
2-1 lead for the Gatemen. It's a chess match between the two sides. Some familiar faces on both ends. And to talk about that a little bit more, our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet.
Yeah, guys, so the atmosphere in the dugouts is electric as the Wareham Gatemen face off against the Brewster Whitecaps for the first time this season. And you can feel the tension in the air, but it's not just about the game itself. Both coaching staffs share deep roots, and they all hail from Keystone College. Players are definitely feeling the pressure to perform, knowing their coaches have so much history riding on this game. We'll see if that shared Keystone connection leads to any unexpected strategies, or if the competition brings out some old rivalries. Josh, Cory, back to you guys.
Thank you, Rayna. Cory, I wonder how much, if there's somebody on Brewster that, is a big fan of Ryan Smythe, how do you think you go about a relationship like that in a game like this?
Well, obviously, we talked about it early in this game. We saw it pregame. Very cordial between both of these coaching staffs. But I think at the end of the day, the fact that you do have that established relationship, you still want to win. I mean, if I was coaching against one of my friends, obviously we're best of buds. We'd be getting along before the game. But I think you get an extra sense of gratification if you can come away with a win.
Then the
against
game face
guys
comes on.
Yep.
Daniel Powell's day done after 4 innings. Just 56 pitches for the righty, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 1 as well. Patrick Galley, the first man out of the bullpen for Wareham. His first pitch is a fastball at 95. It misses outside. 8-9-1 in this Whitecaps order. McCombs, Murrin, and Ragsdale. McCombs skies one into left. It's Clark, and he makes the grab.
Galley working that fastball up in the zone. We know it's obviously going to top out around 98, maybe a little bit extra. He can locate it, should be in a good spot. We've seen him in a lot of high-leverage situations. Recorded 2 saves this summer, the only 2 saves for the Gatemen so far this season. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, so... And another close game here. Typically, we've seen him a little later in contests, but he's used to close contests, especially this summer.
First pitch to Marin, swung on and missed. Slider fooled him. It's 0-1. Galley's had a lot of good. He's had 1 bad. Well, not even necessarily bad. Just gave up that 1 earned run in the 2-1 loss to Katuitt. Second day of the season. 0-1. Fouled off into the backstop. Galley came out for the 9th, pitched a flawless 9th inning, then came in for the 10th. Ghost runner on second. He came in to score. Winning run also charged to him as well. 0-2. Breaking ball just missed outside. Marin now 0 for 15 this season. He was 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts against Hyannis on Wednesday. What a spot it would be for him to get his first of the year. 1-2 in the air, over down the first baseline, twisting back into fair territory, and Daly makes the grab along the line.
And so early on, Galley's been locating really nicely, getting ahead of hitters, and we've seen, especially in that at-bat, the ability of what throwing upper 90s can really do. How the hitters basically have to sit on that, and when you change speeds off of that fastball, can really pay dividends, mix and matching the speed him up, slow him down. Right there, Marin was way late on a fastball and skied it to Daly.
Ragsdale has reached safely in both of his plate appearances so far. First pitch fastball upstairs and out of the zone, 1-0. Ragsdale had an infield single over to second in the first. Randall couldn't field it. Stole a base while he was on, 1-0. Chopped over to third, Gargett. Over to first, not in time. Gargett had to field that over his head and delivered an off-balance throw to Ty Daly, not in time to grab a 1-2-3 inning for Patrick Galley.
A tough play when you have to leap up to make that catch, and at the same time you're dealing with someone in Ragsdale who's one of the faster players in the league. You don't have time to replant your feet to make a strong throw to first, so you're throwing off balance. A, you're not going to get a lot of power on that throw. B, the chances of it being accurate as a normal throw, lower. Solid effort by Gargett, just tough positionally to be able to come up with that one cleanly.
Well, he's got 2 infield singles now today and a stolen base, his 11th of the year. First pitch to Dalton Wentz, misses outside. Drew a walk as well. Someone that's definitely eager to run. It bit him in the third when he got picked off. Good move from Powell. Now he stands on first with a moderate lead. Chopper up the middle for Galley, dropped by Sheehan. Ragsdale heads over to third. Wentz stops at first, and there's runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the 5th for Brewster.
Sheehan had to range all the way up the middle to his left to make that play. He had gotten there as it kind of took that hop as it transferred from the grass to the infield dirt, just underneath his glove in between the legs. Now a tough spot for the Gatemen, especially given how you have an infield single, probably an air right there charged to Sheehan. All of a sudden you go from 2 outs, no one on, to now runners on the corners.
Yeah, that goes down as an error for Sheehan. The Gateman's second of the day, his first. The other, a throwing error from Daniel Powell, trying to pick off Ragsdale. That was how he moved over to second, later stole third. He was stranded on that corner back in the first. As a mound visit from pitching coach Eric Luxis to talk to Patrick Galley in the infield defense behind him.
One of the crucial plays against Orleans, Braden Randall. An error on the transfer. A big inning for the Firebirds as they came back to tie it, then take the lead. Defense in close games just so especially important.
That one happened in the 6th. And now in danger of another mid-game blunder from the middle infield. Blake Sear stands at the dish. 1 for 2 with a single back in the 3rd. I mentioned it in his last at-bat, known as the Energizer Bunny for this Whitecaps team. Had 2 doubles against Hyannis, 2 RBIs, scored 3 runs of his own back on Wednesday. First pitch to the left fielder is a breaking ball that finds the inside corner.
It's a great pitch by Galley, located well. A lot of movement on the breaking ball. Not showing him the fastball right out of the gate with runners on the corners.
Sear hit .254 this past year at Florida. 0-1. Chopped over to third. Gargett, tough play. Across the diamond is out of Daly's reach. That one gets out of play, so Wentz now has to...
Looks like they're calling a foul ball, I think.
That's a late foul ball call, Cory.
It looked like Gargett had conceded the fact that he was probably going to have to play that because it had almost gotten to the third base bag and it still stayed in fair territory. And it looked like maybe he had touched it before it had gone foul.
From our vantage point, it did appear like that was a fair ball.
And the Gatemen catch a break there because obviously we saw how tough of a play it was for Gargett to field it, make a clean throw in time. But now you have 0-2 to count on Sear.
Galley deals, fouled off. Sear stays alive and sends that one into the netting. What a big break for the Gatemen if they can get out of this one now. I mean, Wentz was charging from first to third. Certainly wasn't aware of the call made on the field.
And if Gargett touched that in foul territory, obviously would have been the foul ball there, but right along the line, a really close play.
Well, George Stransky, the third base umpire, playing back up the middle with the 2 on. 0-2, swing and a miss. Sear goes down and Brewster leaves 2 on, and the Gatemen escape the 5th with a 2-run lead. Cory Miller will take you the rest of the way here on Cape League TV with Wareham just 4 innings away from snapping a 3-game losing skid.
Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us sync law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham. For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abbey Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs. Sun's starting to set here at Stony Brook Field, approaching the 7 o'clock hour. Back alongside Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller here on Cape League TV. 2-1 the Gatemen lead through 5 innings of play. Patrick Galley coming on, escaping trouble after an infield single and an error in the bottom of the 5th. Gatemen caught a break with the foul ball call going their way. In a close game thus far, they lead 2-1 with the heart of the order due up in the top of the 6th.
3, 4, 5, Clark, Daly, Sheehan. So far today, 0 for 5 with a walk, but when you look at it holistically, these are the guys that you want up in big spots to try and extend your lead, get some more insurance runs for Patrick Galley and the rest of this Gateman bullpen moving into the second half of a game, up by 1 against a team that's 7-3 and just 1 point out of first in the East Division.
Yeah, Brewster got off to that historic 6-0 start, then dropped 3 straight, bounced back to bring an end to that. Now the Gatemen trying to, as Josh said, upend their own 3-game skid. Get back to winning ways in the West, in which Hyannis is the only club currently above the 500 mark. Nate Britton is out for his 2nd inning of work for the Whitecaps. Facing the righty Clark. Britton kicks and fires home. Deep blast, right center field. Hustling back is McCombs. He reaches up and makes the catch just in front of the wall. Clark gave that one a ride, but to no avail.
That's been a couple of those, Cory, so far today. Chase Cruson got a hold of one. Clark got a hold of one there. Just a couple deep flyouts into the outfield. Comes up short there for Wareham. But good to know that you're getting good contact off of Nate Britton here.
Now you could hear the crack of the bat all over the stadium. Good piece of contact by Levi Clark. No one on, one away. It's Ty Daly, 0 for 2 so far tonight. First pitch he sees, swinging and rolling one to the right side. Right there is Wentz at second. Barely has to move as he slings it over to first for out number 2.
Couple quick outs here in the 6th. It's kind of been the identity of this team is if you see a pitch that you want to swing at it.
Part of the reason why this Gateman team's last in the league in walks at 32, last in on base percentage, but they're still scoring runs. 4th in average. They found the home run swing, it seems like, as of late. First pitch to Van Shane's a called strike 1.
But you don't want to have to rely on that either, Cory. You know, solo home runs, they can only go so far, but winning baseball, getting hits, moving guys over. Just got to keep on scoring.
Oh, 1 pitch to Shane on its way as he goes the other way to the right side. Sliding across and making the stop is Wentz. Close play at first in time for out number 3. Nice play by the Whitecaps second baseman, ranging all the way across to his left. Retires Shane at first. Some nice pieces of contact from the Gateman hitters in the 6th, but nothing to show for it. Things stay the same here at Stony Brook Field. 2-1. Gateman on top through 5.5 on Cape League TV.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
Patrick Galley back to work on the mound. Has a 1-run lead to work with. Facing Sosa, Coates, and Curse 4, 5, 6 in this Whitecaps order.
Sosa has 2 flyouts. Coates has a single. Curse has a sacrifice bunt. A productive spot in this Whitecaps order. Only the 1 run, but have left a couple guys on base. So far today, 7 men left stranded. Not always a great look when you only have 1 run on the game.
Whitecaps have out-hit the Gatemen 5-3. They got another base runner on last inning after Wentz reached on the air by Sheehan. Again, Galley pitching out of that jam. So the 2 Gatemen errors today haven't come back to bite him, at least as of yet. Holding that 2-1 advantage, now playing in the last of the 6th. Sosa, who has flown out twice, first to right field, then to left field. From NC State to Miami, pair of ACC schools, and now the catcher hitting from the left side in his 3rd at-bat of the inning. First pitch from Galley, breaking ball that dips in there for a called strike 1.
Nice pitch from Galley. He's been going to the fastball so often early in counts. It's a good way to get ahead and keep Sosa off balance with the breaking pitch.
Galley, who has 2 saves this summer, pitching here in the bottom of the 6th after entering in the 5th for Daniel Powell. The 0-1 now. Fastball that stayed low, and it's 1-1. Sosa rated the number 6 catching prospect in the MLB draft rankings. Waiting on a 1-1 now. Coming behind on the fastball, in on the hands, and it's 1-2, fouled out of play down the 3rd baseline. Sosa was one of 15 Wolfpack players from NC State that entered the transfer portal. 5 of them were from Florida. Sosa from Vieira originally, playing closer to home next spring at Miami. Behind in the count, 1-2. Galley looks in and comes home. That pitch is blasted into left field. Levi Clark down to a knee. Able to get there. Gloves it for out number 1.
That's 2 sliding grabs we've seen from Levi Clark out and left. An everyday catcher, but no shortage of athleticism when he really needs to. Of course, you know, athleticism as a catcher, different of athleticism as an outfielder, and he certainly has both.
He's definitely moving pretty well out there. And the ones we've seen him have to head down to a knee, kind of slide, make a catch. Really hard hit as well. And out right there, so 1 away, no one on for Colton Coates. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Gatemen. Galley's pitch home, breaking ball down low. Coates came into today's action, 4 for 10, 2 RBIs and a walk. After a .244 campaign for him this past spring at Louisiana Tech. Rising junior, waiting on the 1-0. This time it's a fastball that misses low. Coates the DH tonight, typically a shortstop, infielder for Louisiana Tech, ranked the number 9 shortstop in Mississippi coming out of high school. Hitters count for him, 2-0. Now the pitch. Up and away, 3-0. Waiting on deck is Carson Curse. One for 2 is Colton Coates, single back in the 2nd. Galley's 3-0 now. In the dirt, ball 4, walked him on 4 pitches, and the Whitecaps have a 1-out base runner.
Definitely not the part of the order that you want to be conceding free passes to. Coates now on first. Curse has already dropped down at a sacrifice bunt. Moved him over, helped score him when Priest hit that RBI double to the wall. If you're Galley, have to be wary of any small ball action here.
Yeah, this was the part of the order that got the Whitecaps their one and only run. The righty Curse now, his 3rd at-bat. Swinging on that first pitch, high chopper right back up the middle. Shane Gloves steps on second for 1, back to first in time for out number 3. Do-it-yourself double play by Van Sheen. Backhanded stab. Steps on the second base bag. Slings it over to Daly. 2 for the price of 1. And Galley again out of a situation with runners on base here in the 6th. Once again preserves the 1-run Gatemen lead. 2-1. We've played 6 here at Stony Brook Field on Cape League TV.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Still 2-1 game now, top of the 7th in Brewster. With Josh Richardson, I'm Cory Miller at Stony Brook Field. 2-1 Gatemen lead in a low-scoring contest. Chris McHugh will lead things off for the Gatemen, as accounted for 2 of their 3 hits, including a home run back in the 2nd.
Solo shot, 107 miles an hour off the bat, Cory, and then had that single over into right field back in the 4th. Didn't amount to anything, but a productive day for Chris McHugh. His most productive of the season so far for Wareham. Of course, only 3 games in now for him.
Now a pair of home runs after he went yard against YD a couple of days ago. One of the now 8/9 outfielders, depending upon where Daly plays on this Gatemen team. McHugh the DH tonight, though. A home run and a single. And now facing Nate Britton. Britton kicks, steals. High chopper to shortstop. Charging is Marin. Off-bounds throw to first in time to get McHugh.
Nice throw from Marin there. Charged it, had to throw across his body in time over to first. McHugh has some wheels. Throw still beat him.
Gargett tonight is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, stepping to the plate for the 3rd time right now. Came into this game leading the Gatemen in average. A hot bat for them, no doubt. Hitting 7th tonight. 0-0 pitch. Good. Gets good wood on it. High fly ball into right, but an easy play for McCombs. Looks like he lost it, though, in the sun, and it falls for a base hit. Did make the catch. Looked like for a second that ball might drop.
He did bobble it there for a second.
Almost came out of the glove.
Yeah, it did, but McCombs recovered in right pretty quickly. He made the grab.
We talked about how the sun is setting more so on the right fielder than it is the left fielder. So now it's Cruson, no one on, 2 away. High chopper down the first baseline, lands foul. Cruson 0 for 2, a pair of flyouts tonight.
His last one back in the 5th almost went deep. It's well struck off the bat, but McCombs made a nice grab at the wall.
0-1 now, shows bunt, misses that one. Peeled down to the field, they're able to say that Cruson pulled back, so 1-1.
Interesting thought to drop down a bunt with 2 outs here.
We've seen that a couple of times this summer where Gatemen hitters have done that after the first pitch. Waiting after they've seen one to attempt to drop one down. A 1-1 now. That one misses inside, 2-1.
Kept his bat back that time. Now ahead in the count.
Crewson, Carnes, then Randall if they can keep the inning going. Here against Britton. Kicks and deals. Fastball inner part of the plate and a called strike 2. Crewson at 214, an RBI, leads this team with 5 stolen bases entering play tonight. 2-2, no one on, and 2 away. Shattered bat off of the glove of the pitcher, Britton, fielded by the shortstop, Marin. He makes a nice play to get the fast Crewson down the first baseline for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down go the Gatemen in the top of the 7th. Lead stays at 1 through 6.5, 2-1 Wareham.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financing journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Lazaro Calera takes over on the mound for the Gatemen, replaces Patrick Galley, who threw 2 scoreless innings of relief. This will be Calera's second outing of the summer in a big spot with just a 1-run lead.
Galley's 2 innings was almost as much as what he's thrown in his 3 appearances combined previously. Good outing for him, just the 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. This will be the second appearance this season for Calera. First came against YD, gave up 1 earned run and 2 hits against the Red Sox back in that 8th inning.
Came in a tough spot with the Red Sox adding on to the lead they had at the time. Pressure-packed situation. But another appearance for the righty in which it's a close game. Obviously this time with his team out in front, but not a lot of wiggle room, just up by a run.
Definitely a spot that the Gatemen have been in before this year. They've played with big leads, held on to some close wins, one run, 2-run games, been a little bit more tricky, but still navigated some tight wins. Got to feel like a road win against one of the best teams early on, about a quarter of the way through this Cape League season, could do wonders for the momentum of this team now that the roster is pretty close to finalized.
7-8-9, starting with Colin Priest, the first baseman. Swings at the first pitch, a weak number. Charging at second is Randall. Barehanded throw to first is in time to get him. Shane had that nice double play to end the bottom of the 6th. And that time it was Randall on the barehand. Nice play to start the 7th.
I mean, pick a Whitecap hitter, and if anyone else in this lineup hits that same ball to that same spot, they're probably beating it out. Luck of the draw there for the Gatemen, and a nice play from Randall on the charge.
The right fielder McCombs takes a pitch up and away from Calera. McCombs out of UC Irvine has just played in 2 games for the Whitecaps. Now 0 for 10 with 2 strikeouts, looking for his first hit of the summer. The 1-0, Calera fires in, fastball up in the zone. Shot out of play, just down the third baseline.
McCombs and Marin entered combined 0 for 22, now 0 for 26.
Talk about how the dangerous part of this Whitecaps order is some of the guys at the top. A 1-1 now from Calera. Breaking ball at the knees, stays just low. But
Well,
at the
also-
same time, it has kind of gotten extended down to Curson Priest. Priest drove in that run, the only one so far back in the second for Brewster.
Well, I was going to say, Cory, I mean, some of these guys, maybe they're not playing every single day, but to be 7-3 and no production from 8-9, it's pretty impressive.
That fastball missed low and inside. McCombs backed out of the way, so now 3-1 with Marin waiting on deck. Nazar Calera just into the game out of the bullpen, replacing Powell and most recently Patrick Alley. 3-1 on the way. Fastball grounded foul down the first base line.
And it's not like these guys can't play. They've just gotten pretty unlucky when you look at, how this season has gone so far. McCombs this past year at UC Irvine hit .352. Marin, as a freshman at Tennessee, hit .283. He had 12 extra base hits. McComb had 16 doubles.
High fly ball deep to right center field. Cruson giving chase. He's at the wall. He's looking up. And that ball looked like it took a hop over the fence. It did. So an opportunity now for the Whitecaps with McCombs sending one to the track. He will stand on at second with the ground roll double.
I mentioned it, 16 doubles this past year at UC Irvine. Gets his first hit of the season for Brewster, and that's got to feel good to get the monkey off the back. Now 1 for 11 this season, and that first hit couldn't have come at a better time for the Whitecaps.
Didn't miss a home run by much. Ground roll double sets them up with a runner on at second and one away. Calera's pitch, a breaking ball and a good one. Bends in at the knees for a called strike one.
Well, now you have to get Marin here. Don't let both of these guys get their first 2 hits of the season against you to bring up the top of the order in Ragsdale, someone who entered today hitting .370 and is 2 for 2 already.
0-1. Another breaking ball, another called strike. This one towards the inner part of the plate. Marin out of Tennessee, now in his 5th game with the Whitecaps, rising sophomore. He's walked 3 times this summer, but as we've talked about, 0 for 16 now, waiting for that first hit. 2-1 Gatemen, runner on at second, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Calera, fastball stays high.
That speed differential from Calera could really play to his advantage. 93 on the heat. Right around 80, 81 on that breaking ball. Get somebody out in front.
1-2 now. One with the breaking ball. This one down below the ankles. So 2-2 on Marin. Calera's been able to locate that breaking ball pretty well. And as you said, Josh, plenty of velo on the fastball. Out of Miami, Calera, a recent addition to this Gatemen group. Kicks and deals on the 2-2 now. Fastball up in the zone, chopped to the left side. It's through for a base hit. In between Gargett and Sheehan. No advance by McCombs at second. He stays put, so it's first and second with 1 away for the top of the order in Josiah Ragsdale.
First 2 hits of the season for McCombs and Marin back-to-back. The good news, McCombs really couldn't advance even if he wanted to. Ball hit right over to Sheehan, and just kind of a tough read from McCombs on second to see, well, is Sheehan going to get there? Is that going to get through? It gets through, and by that point, it's already too late. Would have been gunned down at third if Clark came up with that throwing, and he decided to try it.
Opportunity for the center fielder Ragsdale. Been on base all 3 times tonight. Calera kicks and comes home. Fouled off of his back foot. So 0-1 on Ragsdale. A single, a walk, and a single for Ragsdale. Average up to .414 after the 2 hits tonight. Among the leaders across the Cape League. Dangerous spot now, first and second, bottom of the 7th, 1 away. And now Calera's 0-1 pitch. In on the hands, a little fister in the air out to the shortstop, Shan. He is right there to glove it. Big out for Calera retires Ragsdale, now 2 away.
At first, it looked like that was going to bloop into left center just based on the trajectory. Sheehan got a nice read on it, made the play in the deep infield dirt. Crucial second out there for the Gatemen. Still have a guy in scoring position, and now you got to go through Wentz again, but if you can get out of this, big spot with just 2 innings to go.
Wentz, the second baseman, reached on an errors last time up, but is 0 for 3. 2 runners on, first and second, 2 away now. Calera's first inning of work, and the 0-0 pitch, fastball up and away for ball 1.
Yeah, that error, it went 5-hole on Sheehan. Thought he had it in his glove, just passed through.
Wentz out of Wake Forest, swinging on that 1-0 pitch, high pop-up, shallow right field. Who wants it? It's going to be Randall making his way out, making the call, and making the catch to bring an end to inning number 7. 2 hits for the Whitecaps and 2 runners left on. Calera pitching into and out of trouble. Keeps the Gatemen up by a run. We've played 7 innings here in Brewster. You're watching all the action on Cape League TV. For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more. Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
Things are coming down to the wire here in Brewster. 2-1 Gatemen through 7 innings. They'll have Carnes, Randall, Yost. 9-1-2 in the order. Now facing the righty Alex Philpott, 6'6", 200-pound right-hander out of Florida.
Capitalize, capitalize, capitalize. 9-1-2. Carnes has already been on base. Randall's on a 4-game hit streak. Yost, as bad, has been getting hot over the last few games as well. You got a new pitcher coming in. Somebody get on. Let the big bats in the heart of the order get a chance to drive some guys in. It's a big spot. Philpott, a good pitcher so far this season for Brewster. 5 2/3, 7 strikeouts, no walks, no runs.
2 games out of the bullpen, has a hold. The key stat being he hasn't allowed a run. Here's Carnes. Reached on an infield single his last time up, scored a run. Righty on righty matchup, Philpott fires home. Carnes swings, produces a high pop-up. Right side of the infield, twisting and turning as Wentz settles under it and makes the catch for a quick out number 1.
You talked about it earlier, Cory, is just the team low in on-base percentage, low in walks. They're pretty high in batting average, so when they're connecting, it's usually getting down for a hit, but at the same time, swinging a lot early and often, and it can come back to bite him at times.
Back to the top of the order in Braden Randall. 0 for 3 tonight out of the leadoff spot. From the left side, waits on the first pitch, takes a called strike one. We were talking about heading into this game how the bats for the Gatemen obviously red hot despite the losing streak, but tonight it's been a classic pitcher's duel. 2-1, 10 combined hits. 0-1 pitch, rolled to the right side, diving stab by Wentz, get to his feet, fires low to first, and off of the glove of Priest. Randall will reach.
I mean, that's a difficult play from Wentz there. He gave it his best shot. I think that'll go down as a hit, Cory. I mean, Randall, he was charging even with that. That would have been really difficult for Dalton Wentz to try and flip that over. That'll be the 4th hit of the game for the Gatemen.
Had to go all the way to his left. Made a couple of nice plays tonight. Now you got the speed of your leadoff man on it. First for Hayden Yost, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Philpott back to work. First pitch to Yost. Fastball upper part of the zone for a called strike one.
If you can time something, try and move him over, what do you really have to lose at this point? You've only produced the 4 hits.
And just a 1-run game. Philpott throws over to first. Diving back with his hand on the bag was Braden Randall.
I mean, any runner in scoring position is huge. It gives you the upper hand. It gives you a chance, especially you have the bats coming up. At least one of them will come up, barring a double play. That'll be Clark.
0-1. Randall takes off for second. Pitches low in the dirt. And it squeaks by Sosa, so no play at second. Randall swipes it easily, and now he is in the scoring position.
Now Yost's chance. He's playing with house money here. He's got a guy in scoring position, that is. It's a 1-1 count. He's 0 for 3 today, but he's put it in play twice. If he can just do that again, Randall can get over to third.
That's second now, the 1-1 pitch. Down low, blocked by Sosa behind home plate. He'll jog to the mound, talk things over with Philpott.
Yeah, Philpott looked like he wanted to talk about things there, so definitely figuring out signs, making sure everything's all right, and getting some strategy on Yost here.
Ruben Ramirez joining the conversation, the home plate umpire. Everyone getting on the same page once again as we reset. Randall on its second with 1 away. 2-1 the count on Yost. 2-1 Gatemen lead, top of the 8th. Philpott kicks and delivers. Yost hits one deep to right field. Ranging over is Ragsdale into right center field, makes the catch. Tagging up from second is Randall. He'll get to third without a throw. So he advances 90 feet as Yost is retired on the flyout.
It's another WTP warning track power for the Gatemen. Just hitting a lot hard into the outfield, but so far the only thing that's left the park, Chris McHugh, one of the 2 Gatemen runs.
An RBI situation for Levi Clark. His team up by 1. Runner on at third, 2 away. Facing Philpott for the first time. Righty on righty. First pitch is a fastball right by Clark, 0-1.
Got to get your insurance here. I mean, Cory, just a few games ago, Gatemen played at Red Wilson Field. 5 home runs between the Red Sox and the Gatemen. Now just the 1 today, but I mean, some of those might be out if this one was playing over in YD.
0-1 now. Down low for a ball. One of those might have been off the bat of Clark back in the 6th inning. Didn't miss a home run out in right center field by a whole lot. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. 1-1 the count. Runner on at third, 2 away. Pitch from Philcom. Underneath of it was Clark. Pops it foul out of play behind home plate. Philpott an out and away with his team down to its final 6 outs. The Gatemen looking for some insurance here in the top of the 8th. With Rayna on at third, 2 outs. Philpott's 1-2. Fastball in there for a called strike 3. Top of the zone. Clark down looking to end the top of the 8th. Randall got to third on a single. Wild pitch. Was 90 feet away, but the Gatemen can't bring him home. Still 2-1 now through 7.5. Gatemen trying to shut the door late in this game. Stay tuned to all the action on Cape League TV.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The Gatemen just 6 outs away from bringing an end to their 3-game skid. Lazaro Calera back to work on the mound for his second inning of work. Facing the heart of this Whitecaps order, starting with Blake Sear, Alex Sosa, then Colton Coates. In what has been a pitcher's duel through 7.5, 2-1 Gatemen as we resume play.
You get through this scoreless, you're in a great spot. This is the heart of the Whitecaps order, 3-4-5. 2 guys that entered today hitting over 340. Just find a way.
Calera's first pitch, a breaking ball, swinging from Sear. Fly ball into shallow center field, jogging all the way in is Hayden Yost. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the last of the 8th.
Great jump from Hayden Yost out in center. I mean, that's a healthy jog back out to where he was positioned. We've discussed how great his defense has been all season in center, Cory. You know, some other center fielders may not be able to make that jump that he did, and that ball might drop for a bloop single.
He's definitely provided the speed, the defense all season long. Alex Sosa has flown out all 3 times up tonight. The big catcher facing Calera, who kicks and comes home, misses outside. Sosa played with the USA Baseball collegiate team last summer. Sitting 240 with 4 RBIs entering this one after a 291 and 10 homer campaign for him at NC State this past spring. 1-0. Curveball at the knees, called strike 1 as these 2 future Miami Hurricanes do battle.
He'll be eligible for the draft in 2026. It's a potential top 100 pick, Cory. Definitely somebody to watch out for next season.
1-1 with 1 away. Fastball inside corner, called strike 2. As I mentioned, number 6 rated catching prospect on MLB draft rankings.
That's pretty good.
So certainly at the top of the board. He's gotten reps at DH and catcher during the collegiate season. No one on, 1 away. Bottom of the 8th. And now a 1-2 from Calera. Fastball way high. In just his second game on the mound for the Gatemen. In a pressure-packed spot. 1-run game, trying for the hold here. Brewster hasn't scored since the second. And a 2-2. Fastball in the dirt. A full count on Sosa with Colton Coates waiting on deck.
Gotta get this out. Gotta get this out. 2 outs and nobody on is a lot better with 1-1.
Miami against Miami, a full count pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. In the dirt, Carnes will throw down to first to complete the play. Sosa down swinging, and a big out number 2.
Huge pitch there from Calera. Takes a lot of guts to go to a breaking ball in that spot. Went to it, got the result he wanted. Now a much more favorable position with Brewster down to their four final outs and nobody on base.
Colton Coates is singled, grounded out, and walked. DH hitting from the left side. Facing Calera, who has looked sharp since he entered this game in the bottom of the 7th. Kicks and will zip one in there. A fastball high and outside. Definitely looks a lot more comfortable than he did Calera against YD when he came in. Runners on base, heavy traffic situation. Inherited a clean slate, new inning in the 7th, and that's carried over here in the 8th. As he delivers on the 1-0 now. Fastball located well in the outside corner. 1-1.
Well, Cory, I'm sure that some of that you could probably contribute to. You know, it's his first Cape League appearance ever in his life. I mean, that's a big deal. Yeah, D1 school's great, Power 4 school's great, but pitching against a lot of top prospects to get drafted.
1-1 pitch, hitting the air down the left field line, slicing, Rose down to a dive, and he got there.
How about Levi Clark in left field?
With that ball slicing down the left field line, falling fast, Levi Clark, he's made a handful of nice plays out there. Catcher to left field, hasn't made a difference. Records the out there. The Whitecaps are down to their final 3 outs. We head to the 9th, 2-1 Gatemen on Cape League TV.
Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us sync law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham. For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Back here at Stony Brook Field, top of the 9th, Gatemen lead by 1, 2-1. Looking for more with Ty Daly, Vance Shane, and Chris McHugh due up.
You got 4, 5, 6. Your hottest hitter over the last few games. One of your best hitters all season. You got another guy that had a solo shot to produce one of the 2 Gatemen runs so far today. This is the spot in the order that you want up when you have to go and try and get some insurance runs.
They'll face a new arm. They're righty on the mound, 6'2", 200-pound right-hander out of Boston College, Kyle Kipp. Now in his 3rd game, he's gone an inning in each of his past 3 outings out of the pen. That includes a save, 3 innings, no earned runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts. So Kipp has been sharp when his name has been called, and right now the assignment is keep the deficit at 1.
He certainly had some time off. His last appearance was back on Sunday. That was against Orleans. Pitched an inning, gave up a hit. No runs, no walks, no Ks.
This pitcher's duel continues. 2-1 Gatemen, top of the 9th. Having scored the go-ahead run in the 5th. These 2 teams traded runs back in the 2nd. But again, none since the 5th. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch to Daly. Big swing and miss out of fastball. It's 0-1. Daly's 0 for 3 tonight. Came in hitting .317. leading this Gatemen team with 13 hits. Kip into the wind, the 0-1. Laying off a pitch in the dirt was Daly. Held up his swing, 1-1.
Good take. Kept the bat on his shoulder when he realized it. It's a veteran plate move there.
One of the leaders of this Gatemen offense waiting on the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch right there. It's 1-2. Daly and Yost, the only Gatemen players who have now played in all 11 games. Daly leads his squad at bats, doubles, hits. As that pitch is in the dirt, count will go to 2-2. Why he's been slotted in the middle part of this order since the opening game of the season.
And Yost has gotten a few pinch hitting opportunities here and there, Cory. So in some of those games, Daly only got to start every single game this season. One of Smythe's most reliant bats.
A 2-2. Stays high. Fastball misses. So count will go to 3-2.
So on the throw back to the mound, Sosa just hit Daly in the helmet. Seems to be being a good sport. Sosa apologized immediately. Daly is ready to recollect himself. That had to hurt.
That's not the direction you think that that's going to come from if you're going to get hit at all. Obviously, Daly taking his time to shake it off.
I mean, not from behind
recollect. Yeah, no. If you're going to get hit, you're typically accustomed to
at least you can brace for it.
Exactly. Had no idea it was coming. A 3-2 now. Top of the ninth, no one on. Bouncer to second. A few steps in comes Wentz, collects and throws to first in time for out number 1. So Daly retired on 6 pitches, and now it's Vance Shayen. No one on, 1 away. Top of the ninth, 2-1 Gatemen. Shayen is 0 for 3 tonight, a pair of groundouts and a strikeout. Kip now through 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball out of the bullpen. First pitch, a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Into the wind, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A lot of bite on that breaking pitch. On the outer part of the plate, 1-1.
He was sitting on the heat, got fooled. Now you got to adjust.
One, no one on, 1 away. That pitch, a fastball, misses outside. Chris McHugh, who has 2 hits tonight, including a home run, waits on deck. Right now, it's a 2-1 count on Vance Shayen. Into the wind, 2-1. Hard hit to the left side. It's through for a base hit. Line drive shot in between Curse and Marin, and Vance Shayen's on with a 1-out knock.
Nice hit for Shayen there. Just stayed back on it, drilled it into left. It's a great piece of hitting there from a guy that, just got fooled on an off speed, came back, collected himself, took the next pitch to kind of settle back into the at-bat. Delivered a big hit for Wareham.
And a big spot to get a runner on base for Chris McHugh. First pitch he sees, way outside. Good job by Sosa to get that glove all the way across to glove the fastball in the dirt.
Shayen has some speed. Shayen has some speed, so you might see him try and take off for second here. Get him over into scoring position.
That was the 5th Gateman hit of the night. McHugh has 2 of them at the plate now. Shayen into his lead off of first. Kip looks over at the plate, deals home. That pitch in the zone, and it's 1-1 on the called strike. The DH McHugh. The Gateman looking for insurance. Quick move over to first. Shayen read it all the way and dives back safely. It'll be 6-7-8 for the Whitecaps in the bottom half of the inning. Right now, though, it's McHugh waiting on the 1-1 pitch, taking on a pitch on the outer part of the plate. A called strike 2 on the fastball.
McHugh was saying that's out. It was right on the corner. Got a battle now, 1-2.
Runner on at first, one away. Shane singled. He takes off for second. Throw down is into center field. Shane thought about advancing up to third. Will stay put. That 1-2 pitch missed high and away. So Shane into scoring position with the stolen base, with McHugh still up at the plate.
Wise decision from Shane to stay put at second. Ragsdale was going to come up throwing. He had some good momentum charging that ball in center field. Made a good read on it to, come down off of his depth spot. In case that ball sailed, he did. Now Shane's at second instead of third.
2-2 pitch. Hard hit to the right side. High hop for Wentz. In his tracks at second. Makes the play to first. Up to third is Vance Shayen. He stands there now with 2 away for Kais Gargett.
Gargett's been one of the most clutch hitters for the Gatemen. During his 4-game hit streak, he's come up big so many times for Wareham, and this is the best spot for him to do it again. He's got 4 RBIs over his last 4 games. Big spot to make it 5.
First pitch, half-hearted swing. He went around, broke the plane, and so on a pitch in the dirt, the check swing from Gargett couldn't hold up, and it's 0-1. Again, it's Shane over at third. A single, then a stolen base. Advance on the grounder by McHugh. 0-1 pitch. Up at the belt, called strike 2. 2 quick strikes on Kais Gargett. Gatemen looking for that insurance run with a runner on at third, 2 away. Top of the 9th. Kick into delivery. That fastball up and away. 5 total RBIs this summer for Gargett, 7 hits. The team's batting average leader entering play. Trying to continue the hit streak. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2.
It's the same pitch that he checked his swing on to make it 0-1. Good restraint there. Now even 2-2.
Kyle Kipps, 2-2 offering. Stays high, up at the letters. Full count. Shane's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Chase Cruson waiting on deck. Righty on righty matchup. Full count pitch. Runner on at third, 2 away. 2-1 Gatemen, top of the 9th. Kip gets the sign, winds and fires. In the dirt, Gargett lays off for ball 4.
Kip had 2 bases to work with there, but when you're ahead 0-2, you don't want to concede 4 straight balls. Bring up Chase Cruson. He's had a couple hard hit ones earlier. Nothing down for a hit, but definitely somebody that's been putting bat on ball and hitting it well.
Runners on first and third for the Gatemen right fielder. 2 away, top of the 9th. Kyle Kipp pitching into trouble here. First pitch, a fastball up in the zone right by the swinging Cruson. Entered 214, an RBI, 5 stolen bases for Chase Cruson. Kip kick, steals 0-1. Runner takes off for second. Gargett will get down there without a throw, as that pitch was a called strike 2 up in the zone. So now second and third with 2 outs and 0-2, the count on Cruson.
Especially after Sosa just sailed his last throw down to second. No need to risk that, and then Shane comes home for an insurance run.
So 2 waiting in the wings for Cruson. The 0-2 pitch to him. Drills that one into center field, but it will hang up for Ragsdale. Couple steps back, makes the catch. For the Gatemen, a base hit and a walk, but they leave 2 stranded in scoring position. Trying to nail this one down. They're 3 outs away, 2-1. With the Whitecaps coming to the plate for their last licks. Bottom of the 9th on Cape League TV.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby. located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
A+ repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
The Gatemen in search of a big win here tonight. 3 outs away from bringing an end to that 3-game skid. It'll be Curse, Priest, McCombs, 6, 7, 8 for the Whitecaps. And in for the save for Wareham, Caden McDonald, the two-way guy. We've seen him as a hitter. We've seen him as a pitcher. And now his biggest spot of the season on the mound.
I was about to say, Cory, we've seen him as both, but never in a situation like this. Calera with a great 2 innings, just allowed the 2 hits and struck out 1. Scoreless baseball in the 7th and the 8th, a spot when the Gatemen needed him to. And now you bring in McDonald. He can throw hard. He has a great breaking ball. The issue, though, has just been his performance back on Tuesday. Pitched just an inning against YD, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, walked 1 and struck out none. Before that, though, pitched an inning and 2/3 against Hyannis of scoreless baseball. This is a huge opportunity for him and for this Gatemen team to lock down the 5th win of the season.
That appearance against YD, part of the reason why the ERA is elevated at 13.5. And this is the first time we have seen McDonald used strictly as a pitcher. When he's appeared this season, it's been as a DH, then entered in on the mound as a two-way player. Looking to nail down the save. Carson Curse, the third baseman, leads things off. 0 for 2 tonight with the sacrifice bunt. First pitch from McDonald, a fastball that sails in there just a bit low. It's 1-0. As Josh said, obviously he's got the fastball in his back pocket.
Got to get the first out just to feel comfortable.
0-1, went with the breaking ball that time, in for a strike as it tipped off the glove of Hunter Carnes.
If you can get this first out here, Cory, everything just feels so much more manageable. The game slows down, everything starts to just shrink, and McDonald will feel like he's in control.
1-1, top of the 9th, no one on. A fastball that Curse got a piece of, dribbled it down the third baseline foul. As we've talked about, McDonald mostly got looks on the mound for the Gators this past spring, but has played both ways for Wareham this summer. 1-2, no one on, no one out. Top of the 9th, McDonald's 1-2 on the way. Fastball hit up the middle. Right there, though, is Shane. Gloves it from his shortstop position and throws across the diamond in time for out number 1.
Carson Kirst had the sack bunt in the 2nd inning. Since then, 3 ground outs, all to Van Sheen at short. One of them a double play, ending the 6th inning. Outside of that one error that Shane made when Dalton Wentz was up, just a great defensive performance from the starting shortstop for the Gatemen today.
Now it's Colin Priest. First pitch he sees from McDonald's, a fastball up in the zone, and it's a called strike 1.
That found the corner. That was close, but get ahead, stay ahead. If you can get Priest here, McCombs got his first hit of the season last time up.
0-1 now. Slowed things up. Another pitch on the outer part of the plate, called strike 2. Priest drove in the only Whitecaps run of the game back in the 2nd, an RBI double, a flyout, and a ground out since then. McDonald into the windup, the 0-2 on the way. Fastball up in the zone, and Priest was able to hold off.
Go fastball, breaking ball, fastball here. Now can really go to anything. You're ahead 2-1 or 1-2 in the count, I should say.
On the way from McDonald, fastball belted into center field. A one-out base hit past the outstretched glove of Braden Randall, and the tying runs on with one away.
This is your chance. Bottom of this lineup, McCombs and Marin got their first 2 hits of the season back in the 7th inning. They didn't even come around to score. Looks like Priest will get pinch run for here.
Try and get some more speed on the base pass.
Adam Maggelet over at first. He's got 4 stolen bases so far this summer.
Switch hitter out of Boston College replaces Priest on at first. For Jacob McCombs now, doubled his last at-bat. McDonald from the stretch now throws over, and diving back safely is Maggelet.
I know that Powell picked off Ragsdale back in that 3rd inning, but he also had an errant throw in the 1st that moved him over to 3rd. You don't want to risk that. Just focus on the hitter.
There goes the runner for second. Pitch misses. Throw down. Diving in ahead of the tag was Maggelet in scoring position now with one away.
It's a good jump there from Maggelet. Got over to second base, and Carnes delivered a good throw. It was low, but it just skipped in the dirt. If he could kept that moving through the air, velocity wouldn't have slowed down as much.
McDonald's pitch just missed low and outside. So 1-0 the count on McCombs. Runner on at second, one away. A breaking ball that dips low and inside for ball 2.
These are the hitters at this spot in the lineup that you have to attack. 1 for 11 this season, and then following 1 for 17.
McDonald will turn, fire to second. They got him! Adam Maggelet picked off at second. Nice spin and turn by McDonald. The Whitecaps up in arms about the call. There's now 2 away as the runner on at second eliminated. A bang-bang play at second base. Sheehan got in behind Maggelet. And now
Shevchik's gone.
Arguing the call at second base. It was Pablo Bustamante making the call. The Whitecaps manager Shevchik arguing that one. The out call at second eliminates the tying run in scoring position. Shevchik tossed, and now the Whitecaps are down to their final out.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really losing much from getting tossed there. There's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 9th.
2-0, the count on McCombs. McDonald deals. Flied into center field. Yost takes a few steps back, settles underneath it, makes the catch for out number 3. The Gatemen hold on to a thrilling 2-1 win here at Brewster. Snap the 3-game skid back into the win column. They take this one 2-1.
And everything was different than what has been happening over the last 2 games, Cory, right? I mean, the bats were there, the pitching wasn't. Today, only 5 hits, only 2 runs, one of them on a solo shot back in the 2nd inning. But the pitching only allows 1 run on 8 hits. Just situationally, a perfect execution from Ryan Smythe and his guys.
Again, with the 2-1 win, you know, you said it, Josh. Obviously, we thought maybe we were in store for some more offense from both of these squads. That had been the trend, as you talked about, for the Gatemen. But now with the pitching holding up 2-1, obviously it's a new day tomorrow. We're not going to see the pitchers used today face YD in a really hot team atop the Cape League standings. But not in an ideal world, if you can carry over the past couple performances, you have an offense that's clicking and now a pitching staff that has bounced back, allowing just the 1 run today.
Well, Brewster left 8 men on base. That is the difference in this game. When you look back at it, 2-1, and Brewster left 8 men on certainly more than a few in scoring position. And you said it, Cory, now you have to go against a YD squad that, has the best record in the Cape. Just improved that with a 5-1 win over Cotuit. That finished just moments ago. That's going to be a big battle. Third time this season between YD and Wareham. They've split the first two. You have to beat some of the top teams if you want to be the best. Ride this game, take this momentum with you, and bring it back to Spillane Field tomorrow for a big matchup against the top team in the East.
As Josh mentioned, those squads split the first two games. The Gatemen got that 3-2 win over YD back on the 17th. The Red Sox struck back for that 13-7 win this past Tuesday. But the Gatemen back out of the losing column, snap a 3-game skid with the 2-1 win. They hold on against the Whitecaps here tonight, as that will bring it to an end to our broadcast here on Cape League TV. For Josh Richardson, Rayna Maggelet, our producing crew of Chuck Luarasi and Abby Smith, this is Cory Miller saying so long, go Gatemen. They hold on for the 2-1 win tonight in Brewster.